According to the UK MOD, more than 1 million Russian troops have been killed or wounded since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Just as it did during the Second World War, Russian doctrine focuses on overwhelming the enemy with two key things: artillery and people. But in Ukraine, that meat grinder tactic has proven less than effective and devastatingly costly. The biggest single reason is the emergence of drones. With Vladimir Putin seemingly intent on testing NATO at every turn, the prospect of a war between the alliance and Russia grows ever more real. Germany's Chief of Defence Carsten Breuer says NATO should be prepared for a possible Russian attack within 4 years. NATO may have better training, better kit, and indeed far bigger forces, but after 3 years of war, the Russian military is now battle-hardened and will be able to inflict substantial losses on the alliance's forces should there be a war. How many is hard to estimate and would depend on the intensity of the fighting and what units were involved. But Germany's chief military doctor has made a stark prediction, telling Reuters his country's armed forces are preparing to treat 1,000 casualties a day. General Ralph Hoffmann says Ukraine has changed the nature of warfare, with more soldiers suffering blast injuries and burns from drone strikes than traditional gunshot wounds. UAVs have also made it more difficult to evacuate the wounded off the battlefield, and that means militaries have to get better at stabilising injured troops on the front line, sometimes for hours, until they can be taken out. The general says NATO also needs to study the way Ukraine has used hospital trains. Germany is considering doing the same. It's also evaluating the use of hospital buses and better ways of using aircraft for medevac missions. General Hoffmann says German troops would initially be treated on the front line before being transported to a civilian hospital back in Germany. And to cope with the numbers, 15,000 hospital beds will be needed. Simon Newton, BFBS Forces News. Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.